Hi, welcome to Survival Skills. So today we're going to head over to the flower farm. I'm on the GiveCraft server. We have a flower biome on the Hateful server as well, but I'm going to be going to the flower farm on the GiveCraft server because I'm doing some work here and I need to get flowers and I need dye. So I'm in the acacia village right now. Let me flip into first person here and we'll take a trip over there. I wanted to show you a little bit about what's going on here first. That was the derpiest takeoff ever. Um, no, I've done worse. So the thing that kind of got me going here was I'm doing some decorating. I built a new house and I'm also renovating this village here. So I got the house up here, so I need to do some decorating on that. And then I'm repopulating this village. So I want to do beds and I want to do flower pots and things like that in here and make this pretty. So I need flowers like tulips and daisies and poppies and roses and all kinds of different flowers. So let's head over to the flower farm and talk a little bit about my thoughts on flowers, and then I'll show you the farm. So let me flip back here so you can see behind me. So here's my biome. And the first thing I'd like you to make a note of is it's kind of hard to see where I put it, right? There's no big building. Uh, if you look on top of the hill behind me, you'll see the outline of that gray stained glass. I fit the farm to the natural generation. I don't want to carve out a big square or something, or even a big circle for the farm. And I really don't want it to be noticeable. I'm going to replant the trees. Um, I'm going to replant the trees so that you don't even hardly see this flower farm. So let's go over to the flower farm. That was the first thing, is that it's low profile. So that's one of my philosophies for this kind of farm anyway. Try to keep it low profile. Other areas are industrial areas. So the buildings are higher profile, and that's just a different look and feel. Here I want to keep it natural. So this is the farm. So I just outlined the natural generation with gray glass. And it's not just the natural generation. I also looked at what flowers grow up here, and I made sure that the space is big enough to hold all of the flowers that I'm going to want to harvest. So I went through with bone meal, like I mentioned in my previous flower video, and I'll put a link to that on the screen. So I bone mealed all this to find out where the flowers were, what kind of flowers I was going to get, and then I decided, okay, what parts do I want to hit with bone meal? Because I don't necessarily have to hit the whole thing. Some parts don't have anything that I want really, or it would take too much to bone meal those parts. So I look to get the biggest bang for my bone meal investment. So um, so I figured out the pattern. I just went with by hand. I mapped it all out, found the flowers, then I took them all out, and then I started using bone meal to figure out what's the most efficient bone meal pattern. So then, once I knew that told me where to put the dispensers. So I put the dispensers in there, and then I wired them all up to this button right here. So if I hit this button, we get a nice bone meal pattern being shot up into the ground, and it's only one piece of bone meal from each dispenser. So I think I have 6 dispensers under there. So this pattern right here is only 6 pieces of bone meal. It's not a stack of bone meal, like you see with some of the other farms. There's no need for that. If you want to do like like if you want 20,000 flowers per hour, then fine. Do one of those farms. I don't need that. I will do 10 to 15 of these bone meal flush cycles, and that will give me what I need. So that's good enough for me. So here's what I've got so far. I've got a lot of everything. So this is good for making beds, dyeing concrete, dyeing glass, dyeing sheep to get dyed wool, dyeing armor, um, decorate, like I said, decorating. So I'm, that's fine. So one shot of bone meal and then a flush. And then I wanted to make it the fewest number of dispensers I could. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dispensers, pretty much flushed this entire area. Now I have to go break out a little bit of it, so I might as well pick up the flowers while I'm at it. So I'm not going to add 16 more dispensers so that I can run this down into a hopper chain that runs automatically into a bunch of chests. It's not worth it for what I want to do. I just run around and pick them up and break out the grass while I'm at it. Then I come over here and I dump the seeds into this little pit here. Now if I want to get rid of them instantly to cut down on server lag, all I need to do is put lava in there and just dump them into lava. So that's how the farm works, just like that. Just hit a couple of buttons, run around and pick up the goodies, and repeat until I get what I want, to get as much of what I need as I want. Or that was a terrible way to say it. Till I get what I need. I'm trying to be more upbeat because somebody said I'm boring, so I'm trying to keep the pace up. I'm going to trip over my tongue, I know. So bear with me. Maybe I'll get better at that. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm not used to it. So let me check these seeds and we'll go down and look at what's underneath. So I figured out the bone meal manually, right? And then I identified the blocks where I want the bone meal dispensers to go. And then I did the same with water buckets, identified where I want the water dispensers to go. And then I went and I dug it out underneath. And I went and placed all my dispensers. So this is what it looks like underneath. So these are bone meal dispensers right here, full of bone meal. And I just load it up by hand because it's very economical on bone meal use, right? I only use one shot of bone meal each time I press that button. So I've loaded this thing to the gills with bone meal. It's going to last forever. I'm not going to have to come down here and do it again. And it didn't take that long to do it in the first place. So manually load them up. And got the bone meal circuit, comes off the bone meal button right there, comes down here, goes into that, comes out the other side through a repeater into the next one, through a repeater into the next one, and so on, and so on, and so on, and then down there and around all the way to the end of the line to this. Now, I'm still looking at, I'm curious because I haven't looked at this for a while. Oh yeah, we have another one right there. So that's why I've got that branch there. So I got one over there and one there. So signal just goes around and hits all the bone meal dispensers. Now this repeater right here does one other thing. Besides repeat the signal, it isolates the signal from this block right here, from this torch, which is driving this dispenser. Because I don't want to fire this dispenser when I press the bone meal button. So I don't want this bone meal dispenser circuit to interact with the water dispenser circuit. So here I had this repeater. I chose the way I did things here so that it would end up right here so that it isolates the water dispenser circuit from the bone meal circuit. So you can use repeaters for that. They're very handy for that. So then that's all the bone meal is at one Y level, right? All at the same Y level. Now the water had to go down underneath because I want to keep them separate. So now the water goes down underneath the bone meal, and then I've got a repeater going into a block underneath that block. It energizes, this basically energizes this block, okay? Which turns that torch on and off when I hit the water dispenser button. So if I hit the water dispenser button, it's going to turn that torch off, which is going to cause that dispenser to fire and flush the farm. Same thing with that. And then over here, it's a little different. It's going to turn, when I hit the dispenser button, it's going to turn this torch on, which is going to, that dispenser is going to see the change and it's going to flush the farm. So it doesn't matter whether the torch changes from off to on or on to off. That doesn't make any difference. The dispenser sees a change, and that's what causes the dispenser to fire. So that's how that's set up. And then if we look across the way here a little bit, see if I can use this button here. That's one more dispenser over there, and I had to do 2 torches there. So the bottom torch, when I press the dispenser button, the water dispenser, that turns that bottom torch off, which turns the top torch on. The dispenser over that top torch sees the change and flushes the farm. And then, it does the opposite when I hit the button again. So that's the inner workings of it. And then I just put light in here to keep things from spawning. I just put lamps wherever I needed to put them. This is just a leftover right here. I can take this out. I don't need it. So that's it. That's the farm. I think it makes a good balance between automation, low impact on the environment, efficient use of resources, both the bone meal that goes into these dispensers and the number of dispensers that I had to deal with under there and wire up, and then the dispensers up here as well. So it keeps the circuit under there as simple as possible. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you like the video, please click the like button. Please leave your comments and questions below. And if you want to make sure not to miss out on future videos, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell. And thanks for all your support for the channel. Things are going really good, getting lots of comments and questions, and subscriptions are coming in, and getting a fair amount of regular views on the videos. That really drives my schedule. It makes me want to just keep them coming out on a regular basis. So thanks a lot for that. And I'll just leave you with those thoughts. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.